Airbnb owners. Airbnb owners are freaking out. They're in a sham. They're befuddled. They're flabbergasted, whatever you want to call it, because they are losing business. And not only are they like losing regular business, they're losing business that's around probably a large percentage of the income that they make to support themselves. Now you might ask me, hey, why are Airbnb owners losing business? What's going on? If you're anything like me, right? Because I have actually never used an Airbnb. I've never went on the app, never purchased one. I have stayed in them, but not for a night. I've only been inside of an Airbnb. Plenty of Airbnbs actually. The one night I was supposed to actually stay in an Airbnb, I got sick and I had to be rushed to the emergency room and then to the hospital. But that's a different story for a different time. Now these Airbnbs and these owners are starting to lose business because of the prices and the convenience. Now granted, you might ask like, oh, well, this is America economy, this is capitalism. But here's the thing. Airbnbs ran off of being more convenient and less expensive than hotels back when they were starting to come out. I even remember that. It's kind of like how Uber was or Lyft was. Uber seemed like it was the prime mission and that its prime goal was to replace taxis and other forms of public transportation that you pay for. And of course, with corporate greed, Uber started asking for too much money. And it seems like a lot of these consumer-based, products that require consistent purchase, forget that the majority of the people who are going to be using their services are people who aren't banking, having their money up or whatever you want to call it. Now granted, people still use Uber, just like people still use Airbnb, but it's not even a good alternative anymore. Because it was supposed to be us getting more into the future. And another example, kind of like what Blockbuster and Netflix. If you were on my age, you remember Blockbuster, right? Now granted, I was still in single digits when Blockbuster was starting to die. But I still remember, movies, games, food, popcorn, candy, whatever you want to call it. And that being like one of the spots. I live right down the street from one. I remember when I stopped seeing it on the drive for like the crib to Wednesday Bible study, we would drive past it. And I asked my mom, like, hey, what happened to that Blockbuster? And she was just like, hey, it ain't there anymore. Then again, we were kind of already using Netflix at the time. And me as a kid wasn't thinking in my head of, loyalty and all that. So I was just enjoying the Netflix. But, curiosity arose when I stopped seeing Blockbuster because it was a pretty big Blockbuster from, my apartment complex. So yeah, I say all of that to say a lot of these companies planned on replacing things. For instance, Airbnb with hotel. It literally lost the convenience and the price. Now it seems like hotels are just way less expensive. Shoot, a solid hotel is less expensive. Hey, you gotta keep in mind, hotels got free breakfast. I don't even know why people left Airbnbs. And at a hotel, you ain't even gotta do your own chores, because I heard from a lot of people who would rent out B&Bs is that they had to do their own chores, yet they were still charged a cleaning fee. Taking out the trash, doing the dishes, making the bed, washing the sheets, mowing the lawn sometimes. Like, I shouldn't even pay a cleaning fee at this point. Or you should just add all of that into the cleaning fee if you want, and then we can gouge it off of that. But anyways, yeah, the biggest spike of Airbnb consumption that was supposed to be had in a long time was with this World Cup coming up. Now, obviously, the World Cup is past. I'm kind of speaking in the present tense. But yeah, the World Cup back this summer was supposed to be the thing that helped Airbnb get their business up. Especially the Airbnbs that were, closer to the stadiums and in the cities that were being hosted. And the fact that y'all struggled to get business lets y'all know that y'all clearly weren't more convenient. And you probably, weren't affordable. And that's cool. I can understand a complaint here and there, but getting on the news is kind of loserish. Like, claiming a bunch of BS that probably ain't even really true on national television is a little absurd. Whether you blame it on how your city's shaped up to be, or whether you just blame hotels as a whole. Most of y'all didn't get business because of how you run your business. And listen, I'm not here to crap on all Airbnb owners. Like, if you're running a regular business and it's affordable and you have fair wages, you're being fair with the stuff getting done around the house, you're not being unprofessional, then that's fine. But anything outside of that, no, you have no room to complain in my eyes. Going into kind of like an example, there was a couple on TikTok that claimed that they were pissed because some of the guests moved like a table or something. I don't know the full context of the story, but some of that aspect. And that's like the issue right there, especially going online and voicing your complaint instead of, like I said, being professional and doing what you need to do. And yes, granted, I can understand a lot of the rules when it comes to Airbnbs, especially with the number of guests, where you park your cars, loud noise complaints. Like, that's super understandable. One, because like I said, it is your house and you do have neighbors. So yeah, if people are parking in neighbors, driveways or kind of impeding traffic, that's stupid. I hate when people impede traffic. I'm one of the biggest advocates of not impeding traffic in neighborhoods. I don't care how skinny those roads are. And if you don't want to party in your Airbnb, that's fine. That's 100% okay. Yeah, 20 guests is a lot of people. 50, that's a lot too. Even smoking, right? I know literally that Plague Boy Max thing years ago almost now was happening, and they said what? Can't smoke in here because the fire alarm will go off. Come on, that's understandable. But I want to think that most of the people, when they have an issue with those types of rules, it's the charges that come after, right? Like $200 per guest that isn't on the list. I could see why people would be upset about that. That is a bit absurd. But like I said, when you are having a party, not granted, if you have one extra guest or two people who come over just, real quick and then dip out, and you get charged $200 per person, that's a little absurd. Checking out is another thing where it's people get sick of, the time thing, checking in, that also comes with extra charges. So like I said, yeah, you might think your rules are cool. You might have rules that people have to abide by, and they have to live with that. But in addition to that, because you can't have your cake and eat it too, you have to be cool with losing some business. You have to be cool with knowing that, hey, there are going to be less people who can afford this now, or who are going to even want to, even if they do have the money. There are going to be people who will take a night at a decent hotel, which is probably better than your Airbnb, no offense to you, because not only is it cheaper, but it's more convenient and comes with more perks. There's times at hotels where if you show up 3 hours earlier, you can still check in. That sounds like a death sentence if you do that at an Airbnb. Even checkouts, right? You can check out at certain times differently. Like I said, probably is a death sentence at an Airbnb. Because yes, that's the game of business that you play when you want to play it a little more to your advantage. You can't expect to take advantage of everybody who you work with or who, wants a service from you. But yeah, anyways, I'm done rambling. This one should be short. I appreciate you for watching all the way to the end. If you did watch to the end, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. No pressure. I appreciate you. Deuce.